Starts 7 p.m. on PlusTvAfrica.
Hello and welcome. It's Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Nimasa This Week is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Statutorily mandated to ensure that there's regulation and promotion of matters affecting our waters. NIMASA bears responsibility for search and rescue, shipping development, and ship registration.
NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on this channel.
The People's Democratic Party crisis deepens as reps urge Uche Secondus to resign, while the national chairman himself reaches a deal to resolve the crisis in the party. And the sit-at-home order turns bloody as gunmen riot in Anambra and Imo states. This is Plus Politics, and I am Mary Ann Okon. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) caucus of the House of Representatives has called on its national chairman Uche Secondus to resign from office to pave way for the resolution of the crisis rocking the party. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) governors and the embattled national chairman of the party, Prince Uche Secondus, appeared to have reached a new deal as part of efforts to resolve the crisis which engulfed its leadership and ensure lasting peace in the party. Well, joining us to discuss this is Ikwere Local Government Chairman in Rivers State, Samuel Nwanosike, and former Executive Director, Public Affairs and Social Media to the Edo State Governor, Greg Ogiogwa. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. I'm going to start with you, Nwanosike. It's interesting what's happening in your party, and I know that the PDP has been experiencing this crisis for a few months before the members of the BOT even decided that they were going to resign. But let's start with the fact that on Monday, there was some form of protest for and against the chairman of the party. What exactly is the grouse of those who are saying that the chairman should resign?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for the opportunity of joining this program. I want to say clearly what's happening in our party is rebuilding a political party to position itself for the forthcoming assignment of retaking Nigeria from the misrule the All Progressive Congress have provided for the people of this nation. If you know and if you remember that the People's Democratic Party is the only political party that has structures in the 774 local governments in Nigeria. And so what Nigerians are expecting is a political party that has credible alternative to what is happening today, because that's democracy. And so the People's Democratic Party, as it's structured today, led by this current National Working Committee, has lost the confidence of even its members of the National Working Committee. You heard the information given by those who resigned their office from various positions. They said it clearly, and that is why the party leadership, the NEC and the BOT had to come in to say, look, we need to save the only hope the Nigerians have come 2023 to rebuild this nation and make Nigeria the true giant that it is. We need to rebuild it. We need to bring it back. And that's why I thank God Almighty that all parties, including the national chairman, have seen reasons from those who had in mind that it's time to rebuild this party, to position the party to be able to produce a credible alternative. Nobody has any personal problem with the national chairman of our party. No. What we're talking about is that, look, this time we need men and women who have what it takes to produce these credible alternatives that the APC has made Nigeria go through.
When you say that nobody has a personal problem with the chairman of the party, there are those who are directly asking for him to resign, and this is not today. They've been asking him to resign. I'd like to quote directly members of the House of Representatives who are in the PDP. They had leveled several allegations against the chairman. They've accused him of not having a clear roadmap, a blueprint, and of course, not leading the party aright. And if you say that this is not personal, the chairman is the chairman, he's the leader of the party, and if he's being accused of these things, it means that the people who are accusing him somewhat think that he's incapable of leading the party, and that sounds a bit personal to me.
No, you cannot be personal, because the party chairman is not sitting there as the national chairman as if it's his personal business alone. People's Democratic Party is a vehicle that is carrying millions of Nigerians to a destination. Like you know, as we stand today, the Constitution does not recognize what they call it, people running without a political party. The Constitution does not recognize the
independence.
Independent candidates. Yes, thank you very much. So everybody will hold sway in this political party, and that political party is a vehicle that will bring you to acceptance and give you the credible opportunity for you to participate in a match that will be refereed by INEC. So what we are saying as a party, he has done his bit. But as we speak today, from what we have seen, even you that is asking this question, you know that the lapses and the errors of the APC is so enormous that any opposition political party at this point would have raised the tempo politically, and Nigerians would have started by now seeing what it is the government they are expecting to come in 2023 would have been. So we as a political party, we are being practical. Nobody has any personal problem with anybody. What we're saying is that we need a political party that can be able to win election come 2023. Not a political party that's supposed to be standing as an opposition, yet members are drifting from this same political party to even the political party that is causing the trouble. So there's something absolutely wrong. And that's why the NEC and every critical stakeholder, all those.
Oh, I think we lost the connection there.
Whose life, all those whose life and programs and principles depend on the vehicle called People's Democratic Party will never keep quiet. They will never keep silent. They must make sure that they have a viable vehicle to be able to transmit or to position for 2023 and tell Nigerians the message they have.
Okay, Mr. Ogiogwa, over to you. He is making a case that the party needs to move to a position where it can take out the APC, which is the party in power. But how do you take out the party in power when your main soldiers, your foot soldiers, have crossed over to another political party, the same party that you're trying to fight against or trying to take over power from? And they have gone there one way or the other to solidify the strength of that party. Shouldn't the party members, no matter how bad the situation is, stay within the party to grow it and form that formidable force to take out the APC, in the words of members of the PDP?
Great question, ma'am. Fantastic question. You got it right there. But the thing about it is, it's not the foot soldiers that are moving. It's the middle line management. You see, the foot soldiers are the ordinary people. You and I mean, not you and I don't know about you, but, you know, me and my brother on the other side who was speaking. People like us are the foot soldiers. We're the ones who go out before elections, on the elections, and after elections to secure the votes and to secure government in place. So we haven't moved. You have fortune seekers, political fortune seekers, who will waver and who will move from place to place, looking for what you would call a greener pasture, greener political pasture. So you find a lot of that, and you find some of the governors, especially within the PDP fold, who are thinking, you know, that some way or the other that they will get a presidential ticket, especially those from the Southeast, that they will get a presidential ticket in 2023.
So I'm sorry to speak over you, but I'm curious as to how these people, in a space of a few days, have become, you know, economic power seekers, or whatever you call them. These were men that were, and women who were members of your board of trustees. These are the people that you gave the management of your party to, aside from the chairman. And in one breath, they have become the enemy all of a sudden because they've decided to move to another political party.
No. Nobody said they were the enemy. I just said political power seekers. I didn't say enemy. We don't have any enemies within the political space. We might contend on political issues and ideology, but we're not enemies. We are brothers and we're sisters. We are fellow citizens of Nigeria. There's no enmity within the Nigerian family, not from our perspective. But the thing is this, now it makes you wonder, look, are we better off today? Is Nigeria better off today than it was 4 years, 5 years ago? When, you know, was Nigeria better off today than it was in 2014, 2015, when the PDP was in power? Now, even if that is contentious and even if that is arguable, the bottom line is this. Do we have enough reasons to support APC in power any longer? Obviously not. The APC came to power with very, very specific reasons, specific mandates. One was the security, to secure lives and property. Two was the economic recovery. And three was corruption, to fight corruption. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sure that anybody across Nigeria will agree with me that they have not succeeded on any one of those. And that on any of those three...
Well, they will argue with you that they have. They will tell you that they have been able to do this, that, and that. I mean, I remember talking to an APC representative on this show, and he said that the country is better off now than it was under the PDP.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, that's a matter of opinion, and, you know, everybody has an opinion, you know. But I can tell you one thing for free. You know, the average man on the street does not believe so. You've seen the NSAS riots, the NSAS protests, and you know that those things, that protest almost went out of control. It almost became what you would call a fight for democracy. People had already started asking for the president to resign. It was no longer an end to police brutality. It had become, a question of the systematic or the systemic rule of the APC. And we're seeing that everywhere. I mean, you look at what they're trying to do with the ban on Twitter, which is basically to try and restrict the free flow of information and free expression of independent opinion. That's what they're trying to do. And we're beginning to see that more and more. And so anyone who tells me now that people are moving to the APC because it is a progressive party is not necessarily true. They're not progressive. The APC is no longer progressive. It is basically what you would call, a retrogressive party. They're no longer progressive.
But call it whatever you may, and I'm not in any way, I'm not a spokesperson for the APC either. But your party members are moving, and it's not just one, not two, they're moving to the APC, the same party that you are saying is retrogressing, is not doing or has not fulfilled its promises. But then members of your political party are going there in their numbers, and not just at the national level, but at the state level. So there has to be something in that party, or there's something that they're doing right that is attracting members of your political party. For whatever reason.
No, the one thing that they've got right, the one thing that they've got, not they've got right, the one thing they've got is that they're in power. And for a very long time, Nigerian politicians have always gravitated to the center of power. One of the reasons why people are asking for restructuring. So if you restructure, the center of power is no longer in Abuja, but across the different states where, federating units. And people do no longer have to kowtow to the center. That's one of the things. Now, and then there are also a whole lot of situations. I hate to bring this up, but there are a whole lot of situations where you see governors who have done first terms want a second term. And they think that federal might will bring them into, will give them a second term. That is what they think. We've proven them wrong in Edo State. We proved them wrong in Edo State. That doesn't necessarily have to be. Now, another thing is this. If you look at what they consider as the winning formula of what you'd call short-sighted, myopic politicians who think that because the APC controls the federal government right now, that APC will win the next election. All they have to do is to look at 2015 and see for themselves what happened. And I can tell you one thing, another thing for free. I told you one thing for free before. I'll tell you another one thing for free. The Nigerian public will decide the next elections.
I'm going to put a pin there and come back to talk about the Nigerian people deciding the next election. But let me go back to Wanosike. He raised issues about the APC and it being retrogressive, but I still see people moving to the party. But this is where I'm going now. The governor of your state seemed to be one of those who were asking that the party chairman resign. But I remember years ago when Mr. Secondus was about to, assume power, he supported him. He stood by him. But then all of a sudden, the governor of River State, Governor Wike's name keeps coming up, and many have. There have been whispers in certain quarters that he probably is angling for something. So I ask you directly, what is your governor angling for? Is he trying to run for something? What is his interest in Mr. Secondus's chairmanship?
First of all, let's take it one after the other. You raised some issues, so let's take them one after the other. Governor Boye Sowike is a golden fish. He has no hiding place. So if people talk about him, it's expected. We are proud of him. We are proud of his achievements. We are proud that River State has such body like Boye Sowike to present to the Nigerian people at the appropriate time. That is not the basis of this discussion. Boye Sowike is a member of the People's Democratic Party, and he needs the vehicle called People's Democratic Party to be able to translate his aspirations, his wishes, his ideas, his programs and policies to the people of Nigeria. That is the only vehicle that he can say, he will use to say, look, you knew when we were in power, this was not what we were doing. We lost power. These people came in, said they solved problems that they will solve. Now, have they been able to solve the problem? No. What are they using? They are blackmailing and cajoling people to come to their party. Of course, we know weak vessels are those who have gone to their party, and we don't want to bother ourselves with that. 2023 will decide if they have the capacity to manage the fortune of their state or not. When that time comes, we'll cross that bridge. But in concentrating in what we are discussing, Boye Sowike is saying, yes, there's nothing wrong with me supporting you to come to power. But if the idea that we use in supporting you is not achieved, then what is the essence in support? Is staying in that support. Boye Sowike is not a spirit, he's a human being. He has the right to say, look, I think this man can do well. But if the man gets there and has issues that is not confirming with his aspirations and with what he believes that the party should be doing as a party he belongs to, he has the right to say, no, we will bring new blood. We will bring new set of people to be able to reposition this our political party so that we can have a credible vehicle to be able to transmit our ideas and tell Nigerian people, yes, there's a problem that has been created by the President Buhari APC-led administration. We are here to solve that problem. We, the People's Democratic Party, give us this confidence. We have the structure, the 774 local governments in Nigeria. We have the ideas to be able to rebrand Nigeria and make Nigeria the true giant of Africa. What we thank God to do that Uche Secondus himself has come to agree that yes, we will work together. Let's do this convention in October rather than wait till December, and let's be able to reposition our party to be able to get this job done for the Nigerian people. And we all are working together now. So I think we need to move forward.
Let's talk about the issues that have been raised against Mr. Secondus. He has even responded saying that so far all of these allegations that he's heard, none of it has really warranted his resignation, and of course his time in office is yet to expire. So I'm still really wondering why everybody's pushing. If there's a problem in the party should fix it. Should it be if changing a person and putting another person, because you said it wasn't about Uche Secondus, but now if you're saying take Mr. Secondus out of the picture and you bring another person, is that really going to heal the party? Will that bring an immediate solution to the party? I also want to understand why the PDP as a party, many have concluded that the PDP has not been able to play its part as a viable opposition to the APC since the APC came into power in 2015. And here we are in 2021. The PDP is still struggling to put its party together. And now we see it looking like a house divided against itself. How formidable can the PDP be come 2023 if in 2021 we're still having to deal with issues like this?
Okay, now look at, even in this discussion we're having now, you yourself as a presenter have answered part of the question. You just said now that the PDP as we have
I think
today, the PDP as we have today, the PDP as we have today have not been positioned to be able to convince Nigerians that they can be able to correct the mistakes of this present administration. So that is enough reason why members and leaders of the party are saying, please, don't worry. Let's work together. Let's be able to produce a credible executive that can be able to wrestle power from these people. Whether you like it or not, Nigerians are expecting PDP to come with a clear programs and policies, a clear alternative to what APC is doing, that they can be able to touch, they can be able to hold, they can be able to see. Are you sure
that Nigerians are expecting anything from the PDP anymore, because they've not really seen the PDP play the opposition?
Including you, who is even asking this question. In your deepest of heart, you know that you're expecting Nigerians, because it's not even also good for even you that is even asking this question.
I didn't know that you could read minds.
No, but it's the truth. How can we live in a nation where even you cannot even travel on road from one set of journey to another, where you sleep with all your eyes open? A nation where you're not sure of what the economy policy of the nation will be tomorrow, and what is the dream anybody is chasing in this nation. A nation that all our qualified people are leaving this country. We're having brain drain today as we speak. Resident doctors are still having issues. People are dying in our hospital. A nation that has no program and policy, all we have is lies and intimidation. See, the truth of the matter is that Nigerians have made up their mind. Go and check what's happening in the registration, the INEC registration. Young people are getting registered to say, we don't want to protest in the street again. We want to protest with our vote come 2023. And that is why the APC is scared. That is why they have to go to the National Assembly to maneuver the process to stop Clause 52 in the Electoral Act, so that they can be able to stop the issue of transmitting results from the polling units. They know that Nigerians have made up their mind.
But your PDP members were also part of the Senate. Your members of your party were also part of those who said no to the electronic transmission of results. So you can't really hit this at the table of the APC, can you?
No, hold on. Who is in charge of the both houses?
Well, it doesn't matter. If your party wants to totally absolve itself, we shouldn't see members of the PDP on that list.
When the People's Democratic Party was rejigging the Electoral Act, they were rejigging the Electoral Act in a positive direction. Under the People's Democratic Party, they brought in the card reader. Of course. So we're saying that if you have the majority and you want Nigeria to move on, you know, civil society, entire Nigerians are saying, we want to save the life of INEC workers. We want to save the life of security agents on election. We want to save the lives of reporters like you on election day. We want to save the lives of voters. We don't want the issue of hijacking of results, rewriting results as collation centers. Let the true reflection of the votes of the people that are casted at the polling unit be what will come to the INEC server.
Okay.
That's what we're saying.
All right. Back to you, Mr. Ogoigwa. Let's go back to that thing we put a pin on. You talked about the fact that the people's vote will decide in 2023. But I just want to talk about a litmus test. For example, let me use Lagos State. A few weeks ago, we had local government polls. The polling units were virtually empty. Just a handful of people were there. There seems to be, I mean, we could call it whatever. Some people are saying that there's voter apathy. It's really, some people are saying that, you know, they're having, you know, a brain drain. There's so many ways to describe the low turnout for, you know, the elections here in Lagos State. And Lagos is the economic capital of Nigeria. I mean, talk more about other parts of the country. If you are so certain that the voters will decide in 2023, we're supposed to start now to understand their mindset, and their mindset is what we saw in Lagos local government elections, except you can convince me, you know, on the opposing side. Mr. Ogoigwa, can you hear me? You need to unmute yourself so we can hear you. Oh, I think that we have lost that connection with Greg Ogoigwa. Let's come back to you, Wanusike. So I'm going to ask that same question to you. If the voters are going to decide, I'm sure you heard my question, so if you can attempt it. People seem not to care. Okay.
Hello?
Mr. Ogoigwa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Did you hear my question? All right, go ahead.
Yes, I heard your question about Lagos State local government elections. Now, two things. First of all, local government elections are under state laws. So first of all, is the Lagos Independent Electoral Commission that conducts the elections there, not the Independent National Electoral Commission.
But there's still elections. There's still elections. People still show up at polling units to cast their votes.
Yes, I just pointed one thing out to you. One is general. The other one is
Call my mom. They call me at the new program.
Okay, go ahead.
Chairman, your mom will cook egusi for us to chop for this program.
Go ahead, Ogoigwa.
All right. Now the next one is this. You see, not voting at an election or not participating at an election is also a statement. It's also an action. It's an electoral action. There is participation and non-participation. For example, if you have anything less than maybe 40% participation at an election, then you know that it is not totally participatory. The generality of the public or the generality of the voting public do not necessarily mandate or endorse that government, even if they have won the elections. If the number of people, the number of the voting citizenry are less in proportion than ought to be. So there's a standard by which you can say that, okay, if 35% of the voting population don't vote, I mean, only 35% of the voting population voted, then you have 65% who did not vote, who have also made a statement. And that statement at times is what you call the silent majority. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that Lagos State, they had what you would call some sort of slight victory for the party in power in Lagos, and you had a majority of the people that did not vote. It tells you one thing: that not voting is negative, is a negative vote.
But then the APC wasn't just the only party that vied for that election. And let's not forget, let's not even play this down in any way. Local government elections, whether we like it or not, are the most important elections in any populace. It's the most important because that's the closest government to the people, even though these days in Nigeria, local government elections are sham. But it's very important. And to totally jettison the idea that it cannot be a litmus test, I have a problem with that. But again, let's refer to 2019 election. Just hold on. I'm coming. Let me just drop this point. Let's go back to 2019. It's not. I mean, we can't really quickly forget 2019 because it's just a few years ago. The number of people who showed up to the polling units was not up to 100% or if 70% of the people who registered for that same election. So we're still talking about the issue of voter apathy. Exactly.
I think it was less than 60%.
Exactly my point. So if in 2019 we had that low turnout for general elections, and then I'm just using Lagos here as a test for, you know, local elections, and we saw almost empty polling units with sometimes one voter.
Yeah.
Of course, this says a lot.
It means
We had the
people believe
PDP,
that
we had the
votes won't
YPP,
count.
we had so many other parties there. So we can't really say because the APC people didn't show up, so it's a bad light for the APC. The PDP members also were vying for those offices.
I didn't say it was a bad light for the APC. I said it was a bad thing for the political system, for the system itself. It means that people no longer believe that the system will throw up the leaders that they vote for. It means that they no longer believe in the electoral system. People believe that even if that their votes won't count, no matter who they vote for. You remember what happened in Lagos over during the last elections. You know, we saw that very clearly. There was a lot of violence and everything. And a whole lot of people felt that their votes just won't count, no matter what it is. And it happens in state elections, at the local government elections. I know that you said that local government elections are the most crucial. They ought to be. They ought to be, but they are not. They are not the most crucial because local government elections are just what you would call jara, you know, for whoever it is that wins the states. Local governments are just jara. You will take every single local government that you wish. So you just simply write the names of the local government chairman and the councillors, and you've got them all. Now, but the thing is this.
So you're saying that you're telling me that one of CK's election was a sham. That that the parties in power just, you know, decide who would win. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they do it all the time. And, you know, anybody who says it's not true should come and argue it anywhere.
Do you care to respond? Because this puts your local government election and you're winning in Ikwerre local government area to question.
No, hold on. I don't know.
I am waiting for my opportunity to respond. When that opportunity comes, I will respond.
Yes, sir. And I don't know the particulars. And I believe that, you know, from what I've heard
I'm waiting.
I don't know the particulars, but from what you have described and from what you have spoken, as you have spoken, you are pretty articulate and you probably know your people very well. So I will not say 100% that the elections, local government elections are a sham. I won't say so. I participated in them myself. So I won't say 100% that they are, but I can tell you that majority and, you know, majority. So let's say 90%. But going further, what I want to point out is that what you call apathy is not necessarily apathy. It could be a negative, what you would call negative energy, a resentment that has some sort of energy. Because when people refuse to vote, when people stop voting, then they are preparing for revolution. When they stop voting, when they stop believing in the electoral system, when they stop believing in power by the ballot box, then they are preparing for power by any means necessary.
Okay.
So when you say apathy is a wrong word to describe the mood of Nigerians. I don't think that they're apathetic. I think that you're seeing Nigerians becoming more aggressive and beginning to become, beginning to think that, look, if government cannot protect us, if they cannot provide for us, we better think about these things ourselves, whether it is at local government level, state level, or regional level, you know, thereabouts.
Okay.
So, Mr. Osike, don't get it wrong.
Oh, come on, let the man speak. Let the man speak. Mr. Samuel Osike, your elections have been called to question. Our local government's elections across Nigeria is sham. And this is not the first time that people have questioned local government elections. There are state governors who have for a long time decided not to have local government elections, and they have stayed that way. But you are a two-time local government chairman for Ikwere, and I want to know...
Well, first of all...
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Wanosike.
Yeah, let me just take that. First of all, to my brother who is on the other side of this program, I hold no issue against him. He's entitled to his opinion. That's why he's a living being. In River State, we practice clear-cut democracy. And I know, even you as the reporter, you followed our local government election process. You even interviewed me in this your station as regards the local government election. Now, I want to say clearly, in River State, we participate based on the wishes of the people. If you're not popular in River State, you won't win the election. If the people don't believe that you have the capacity to provide the dividends of democracy, they won't vote for you. If you understand the way the people of River State think politically, you will know that there are people who believe in practical activities. They don't believe in wishful promises or storytelling. Now, I have been given the opportunity, this is the second time and I'm elected local government chairman in my local government. And the records are there to show for itself that I have delivered the dividends of democracy to the people of Ikwere local government in all spheres. Call it in agriculture, call it in education, call it in security, call it in works, infrastructure. I have projects littered on the 13 political wards in my local government. I've rebuilt the local government headquarters to the envy of all. I'm building an international meat market in conjunction with NDDC. I am building projects in all the political wards you know in Ikwere local government, and I'm making sure that the people of Ikwere local government have the full taste of democracy.
Okay, I have a question.
Now, talking about Lagos State, hold on before you ask your question. Talking about the election in Lagos State and the message the people of Lagos State have sent to the government of Lagos State, which you know is the APC-led administration. What you have seen, if you go and juxtapose with the online registration going on today, you will know that the people of Lagos State have just told the Lagos State government, APC government, that wait for us in 2023. We are not interested in this your local government process. We are interested in 2023. That is why we are registering. And in Lagos, we will show you that the current APC cannot hold Lagos State in 2023. That is what that message is clearly.
So you're pointing fingers to you're pointing fingers to the APC, who's at the helm of affairs when it comes to the state level. Of course, the governor is an APC member, and so you're saying that by virtue, the party runs the state. But I want to ask you a direct question. I hope you can answer. If the PDP was not in power in River State, if Governor Nyesom Wike was not your principal in River State, would you be Ikwere local government chairman? Do you think you would stand a chance to win that position as local government chairman? Do you think that all those people, because I know that the River State, every single person who occupies a local government office right now is a member of the People's Democratic Party.
Let me just answer you. Let me answer you. Straight and direct. The people of the Ikwere local government decide who will govern them. In fact, even in this People's Democratic Party that I belong to, the greatest opposition I faced, we are my party members. They are the actual people who gave me fierce opposition in my quest to come back as the chairman of council.
I am saying, if it was the APC that was leading your state, do you think that they would let a PDP person win in any local government election?
Good question.
The point I'm making is that if it's the APC that's leading River State, hold on. If it's the APC that's leading River State, and APC conducts a credible election at the local government level, one or two someone will win.
So why are APC members not? Why have APC members not won in any local government area in River State or any other political party? It doesn't even have to be the APC.
Hold on. APC didn't contest the election, So let's talk about that. APC was.
So what about the other political parties? What about
the other political party? The point we are making is that you don't just sit down in the comfort of your bedroom and say 2 days to election. You got 3 posts and say you want to come and run election. There must be track records. We have a leader that is in a party that have transformed Rivers State and turned Rivers State to a construction site. Ezeboye Sowike has shown Rivers people capacity leadership. And everybody in Rivers State is talking about his party. And so that is an advantage of his own.
But Nyesom Wike is not running for local government. Nobody's voting for Nyesom Wike to work on the local government level.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me even tell you. If Buhari, if President Muhammad Buhari, federal government have done well, APC would have pride in APC as a party to run in the election. The problem why people are afraid of running an election under APC today is because the government at the center, who made so much promises, has failed. The point I'm trying to make to you, that in Rivers State, Ezeboye Sowike has done well as the leader of the party, and that's why PDP is the shining light. So the major fight we have in the political party at the local government level in Rivers State is that it's an inter-party issue.
I'm sorry, just hold on, Mr. Wanesike. Mr. Goigwa, please, can you minimize the sounds coming from your end, please, so we can hear our other guests? Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Wanesike.
Okay, the point I'm making is that because the leader of the party have led the party right, the party has not been placed in a position of interest. Everybody is interested in PDP. Oh, that party that is doing very well, we will follow them at the local government level. They will do more at local government level. And I know in our first term in office, a lot of my colleagues worked so hard to also grow the party at the local government level. I worked so hard to grow the party at the local government. I didn't go to the local government level and become a liability or become a disgrace to my party. I went there and I showed them.
I think we lost the connection there.
That's the point I'm making. No, the point I'm making is that Ezeboye Sowike has provided that leadership.
Okay.
If President Muhammad Buhari had succeeded, APC would have been flying high in Nigeria. But today, in the 3 points in which he campaigned and came to office, he failed woefully in all the 3. So,
Absolutely.
People be looking at APC.
Well, we'll take
That's why they're trying to look for corners to be able to hold on to power. But let me tell you, like my colleague have said, the people of Nigeria will shock them.
Okay.
How many are they? They are less than how many people?
Okay.
Don't worry. They will learn from the loss of Jonathan in 2023. Don't worry.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're still talking about the crisis in the PDP and how the PDP plans to claw itself out of this hole. Take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on PlusTvAfrica as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still Plus Politics, and we're still looking at the crisis within the People's Democratic Party at the national level. And still talking with me is Chairman Ikwere Local Government Area, Samuel Wanesike, and former Executive Director, Public Affairs and Social Media to Edo State Governor Greg Ogogwa. So I'm coming to you, Mr. Ogogwa, now because Samuel had a lot to say about his state, and I still ask the same question over and over again. We see a trend in many states across the Federation, whether it be APC or the PDP. Once a particular person is the governor of a state and that state flies the flag of a certain party, local government elections are automatically given to those people in the party. And Samuel was talking about conducting free, fair, and credible elections. If these elections are free, fair, and credible, Where is the room for other smaller parties? Because those parties may not be big at the center, but they can be big in those little communities. Where is room for those parties to fairly participate and win elections? And we've seen many of these parties take parties like the PDP and the APC to court. So if the PDP is complaining about the fact that in Lagos State there is no fair play, is there fair play in PDP states? Now, my other question for you is a two-pronged question so that you can answer it before we wrap things up, is if the PDP intends to win in 2023 and you were supposedly asked to be on that think tank, what would be the recommendations going forward? Because it looks more like the PDP is now becoming a regional party of sorts, and it's not necessarily a national party as it should be anymore.
Well, okay, let's do it the same way you ask the questions, one after the other. Okay, now, it's the issue of representation. The parties representing people from local government upwards, and so on, and the states determining who runs the local governments is a systemic issue. It's a very, very systemic issue. It's got a lot to do with fiscal policies as well, you know, revenue derivation and all. It has a lot to do with the very basis of our democracy. So when people talk about power sharing and so on, I always say to them, it's not enough to say, let's just, you know, do power sharing to regions or power sharing to states. How about local governments, and how about to individual clans and family units? So that's a totally different issue. You take a whole 1 hour to go into that because it's a constitutional and very, very fundamental issue in politics. Now, but the main thing is this. The PDP, as it were, has the greatest experience in running Nigeria. It's had the longest period of time in governance. Has held the presidency at, you know, has held state and local government at the largest extent over the history of democratic rule in Nigeria since 1999. Now they've lost a lot of that, and as a result of that, they've had to learn new things, learn new habits, make amends for the mistakes that we made during that period of time. And now we realize, so we can see from our vantage point, the mistakes that the party in government is making. However, one of the things that we know we have not done is that we have not sold ourselves properly. We have not come up with our new policies, with the lessons that we have learned while we were in exile, while we were in the wilderness. These are the lessons we have learned. This is how we're going to take Nigeria into the promised land. We have not been able to articulate that properly. And I think that is one of the reasons why Prince Uche Secondus is under so much pressure. Because truth be told, Prince Secondus is also a product of the previous generation, which is the generation that was in governance. So they did not learn how to be in opposition. Now that they're in opposition, they probably do not have the skills of what a party in opposition should be like my brother said. We have to be agile, we have to be very, very dexterous. Don't mind my English now.
It's okay.
Have to be dexterous.
It happens to the best of us.
Yes, that's the word. And then, we have to be able to quickly learn from the mistakes that government is making and quickly offer new and innovative solutions to those same mistakes that they're making. We're not doing that right now. Nobody is saying that it is Prince Uche Secondus's personal faults or fallacies. It's a systemic thing. And just as we know that generation by generation, not too young to run and all that stuff is coming along, we also have new ideas and new innovative policies and new innovative ways that which we can run political parties, and new innovative ways that we can bring in the women, the youth, the rural dwellers, the pensioners, and so on, disabled people, that we can bring them onto our fold, increase our inclusiveness as the People's Democratic Party as it should be. And as such, we need to explore those things in innovative ways. We need to think outside the box.
Okay.
And what we're seeing is that the old executive doesn't seem to be doing so. So with due respect to them and everything, they did their best, but we're stepping ahead into a new generation, and so we need to then also bring in a new fold of people who will lead the charge into the new generation, into the next level.
All right.
And then and we know that the APC has failed so very woefully. Everybody sees that. All we have to do is to translate that failure into electoral success for us at the next elections. And I believe that the Nigerian people know well enough to do so.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you. Greg Ogogwa is the former executive director and public affairs social media to Edo State Governor. And of course, Samuel Wanasike is the Kwere Local Government Chairman in Rivers State. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for speaking with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well.
All right. Well, thank you all for staying with us throughout the conversation. That's all we can give today. Tomorrow is another day. I am Mary Anna Cohn. See you. Have a good evening.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
He suffered equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them. If you no talk, they go beat you. Now 2,500 and they pay.
Welcome to The Breakfast.
A breakfast where we unbundle top and big stories of the day.
Is vaccine the only way out of this pandemic?
No, definitely not.
Many Ghanaians just want a peaceful election and they are hoping there will be no rigging.
There is nothing bad in borrowing for infrastructure. The minister added that he was impressed.
Please come and see yourself what we are doing with the money we have borrowed.
It's very important. The way we brand ourselves is the way people will carry us.
It's just the driver of the two vehicles that were completely burned.
This one was here screaming.
What do you recommend the government do to support this sector?
Direct intervention, that's what every government all over the world has done.
We are not a parallel ticketing structure. A multiple core is a complementary core.
What I will not encourage Christians to do is to carry dagger and follow anybody. No.
Join us on The Breakfast, 7 a.m. Monday to Friday.